When you're in a relationship, and this will be the last point because I want Tiffany to come on up here and share her story. Um, and I also want to do questions and answers. When you're in a relationship, you have to drop the I and me. The I and me, you're going to have to drop because in a relationship, it has to be we. It has to be we. Let me explain it. When you choose to get close to someone, you're deciding that you're taking on everything that comes with that person. Hear me out. Everything that comes with that person. Their preferences, their likes, their dislikes. What if they have kids? That's a whole dynamic in itself. So you're dating someone that has a kid, you have to take on the understanding and the temperament that to that person, that kid is their life. That kid is defenseless without that person. Going through homework schedule, all the different things that pop up from celebrations throughout the years, birthdays, sports, the importance and the energy that they pour into making sure their kid is all right. So when you're dating someone, you're dating every single aspect of that person. So if you are of the mindset, I and me, you're going to have a real hard time because when a person acts like themselves and it doesn't line up with your preference, you're going to see it as wrong because I wouldn't do that. Oh, that wouldn't be me. How? You decided to bring that person, to make that person a part of your life. You can't think I and me. You have to see we. Like example, for myself, my last girlfriend, swear to God, I was in love. And those who are in another room heard the story about that. I couldn't understand with all the things that I've done to show my love towards her, why wasn't she comfortable holding my hand in public? Because she was what? Still what? Legally married. And she comes from a tiny island where we, being New Yorkers from America, embarrassed by somebody in public, we could just, I'll probably never run into those people again. I will probably never run it. You scream at me in public, I'll tell you this, and you bow it back and forth and this and that in front of public, and everyone's watching, and you still walk away like, so the F what? So the, like, because guess what? The chances of you ever running into those people again, slim to none. Slim to none. But a small island, embarrassment is a huge thing to them. Huge. No, like you're saying, yeah, but unless you're a part like of a small, come from a small island, you're not fully getting that. You're going to run into those people again. You're absolutely going to run into those people again. That's small island living. So in my mind, it's like, how do you, with all the things that I've done to show my love, how are you not proudly holding my hand? You know, come on, this is me. Now, come on, think about it. Like, how are you not? But she's still legally married. So she's not holding my hand, not because she doesn't love me. She's not holding my hand because what will people say? Because people still know her as what? A married woman. But I couldn't see that. All I could think about is, but all the things that I've done to prove that I love you. I'll give you an example. And this probably hit home for guys because it's dealing with money side of things. In a time frame of maybe say 2 years, I flew to Trinidad and Tobago 33 times. Somewhere in there. Anywhere from 2 to 3 years. I flew to Trinidad and Tobago 33 times. Imagine when she says, you'll 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 never be satisfied with me. She would say that to me. I flew to Trinidad and Tobago 33 times. How how in the world do you come away with feeling that I don't think that you're freaking amazing, that you are enough, that I think you are worthy of a guy like me? How in the world do you not see that 33 times? Let's work out the math. Each flight on average is $650. Sometimes I paid $850, $950. Sometimes I got away with maybe a ticket of $450. Do the math, 33. Would you question if I am into you? Would you what? But she's not seeing it from my perspective. The other person is not me. It's not me. And I was so caught up with all the things that I was willing to sacrifice. And Eustace is probably the only one that could attest to this. We were backstage at almost every big show. I had backstage passes to almost anything. And he didn't even travel as much as with me, as many, because anywhere from Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, I pretty much could go backstage. Don't care the artist. I was able to go backstage. Sometimes it was sneaking backstage. Come on, we make up our own little fake passes and get on in. Come on, oh, or we just have the string tucked in with the pass, and they see the string, so you just walk like you own it, and that's it. Walk like you own it. I mean, but back then you got to keep in mind, I had a diamond big pendant that said God first, belt buckle made of solid gold with black diamonds. So you kind of trying to act like it, present yourself, so you just move with it. I gave that whole backstage lifestyle up because I was so dedicated. I wouldn't go to anything. I would just go to her. And all those ties, 2 to 3 years of cutting those ties, you lost everything because the industry is forever changing. So those who were in position, because I was affiliated with Z100 at one time, those people in position was no longer in position. Oh, that person got fired. And now you come back and like, hey, it's me. They're like, no, that person's no longer who gave you all those hookups to go here. No, they're not there anymore. So I lost all that because to me, the being with her was the most important thing. So in my head, it's like, how? Why? How could you not want to hold my hand? Why couldn't you? No, because the other person, not you. And they're not going to ever see things always from your perspective. So we talked about today. We dealt with, we only know what we know, and what we know isn't everything to know. We learned that. We learned that love is something that you do. It's you being able to pay attention long enough that you could take your thoughts, passions, likes, dislikes, preferences, pet peeves, and share it with the other person in a way that they can receive it. And if you're skillful enough, not only can receive it, but we looking forward to doing something positive with it for you. The other person's not you. No matter how much quality time you spend with that person, no matter what you've done for that person, they'll never, ever see everything or feel about everything exactly the way you do. They're just not. In a relationship, you got to drop the I and me and think about the we. When it comes to relationships, you have the mentality of a hero or victim when you share your stories, but never the villain. But was that person red flagged before you moved forward? And are you now blaming the other person for being themselves? When in truth, you were told to stop. But based on your insecurities, fears, your lust, and I can be honest about that, You just like, well, I just want to repeat that over and over. And if I have to sacrifice the other things that matter to me, then I'll just deal with that. No, because you'll find in relationships, the sex is the last thing to go. Because you can be pissed and mad, but you kind of want to get some, so you do that still. So that's the last thing to go. That's how disconnected sex can be. But it was supposed to be a gift. It's supposed to be used as another form of communication to make things even more amazing. And then, of course, things that we know we don't know, and the things that exist that you have no clue about. How can you be so adamant about your stance, your position, your perspective, the way you see things, the way you feel about things, if the odds are against you, that there's a chance that you're not seeing the full picture, you're not understanding certain things, or you're just straight wrong. Because think about it. How many times did you have a fallout with someone? You swear to God a situation is exactly what you thought it would be. Like it couldn't be, and I can tell them, it couldn't be anything else. Like I am really good at relationships, and I'm in a relationship, and I swear to God, then that can't be, because I see all angles, because that's my personality type. I pay attention to so much that I can't miss, and guess what? I missed. Not only did I miss it once, then I missed it again, and then I missed it again. I said, wait a minute. Life has to be so much bigger than the way I'm seeing it. Because if someone is so invested as like I am in that situation into a girl, how in the world could I miss? But I miss. And I missed it once, I missed it twice. And I said, no, there has to be something more. And that's when I started this journey. This journey after a failed marriage. This journey that says, just like I couldn't dance, I'm a dominant dancer. I didn't have a memory. I'm known as Ricky, the Memory G, in the industry. That's what I'm known for. I do high-end parties throughout the U.S. Peter knows. I do events, and in an hour, I walk around cocktail hour. I'll meet all the kids, and if your party has anywhere from 80 to 150 kids, and at a few times I had 190 kids in 1 hour, I will memorize all their names, and I will stand up with the kid during their cake lighting ceremony, and I will name all the kids at the party. And then the last part is, since I failed in marriage, I wanted to be really good at marriage. So I dedicated myself to understanding the nuances of how to have this relationship that starts from love God with your whole heart, your whole soul, your whole mind, and let that relationship with me and God define how I treat my neighbor as myself. That as thyself is the part that we forget, because you have to let the relationship between you and God define how you see yourself, what you can do, the power you walk within. You have to let that develop. And then that will teach you how to treat your neighbors. God first, yourself second, then others. Thank you, guys. I'm Gunter Man. But the second part of Soapbox Stand Up and Speak is people from around the world. Because we live in the day and time and age that we live in, you'll find that you have more and more people passionate about what they feel inside, what they believe is right, and more time than ever before, people are speaking up. Would you agree? You have more and more people willing to speak out against situations, but I want the positives. I have set up this company in a way that you're going to share what you know to increase what we know. So I ask people to put together a video or presentations during a seminar that lasts for 1 minute, 30 seconds, no more than 2 minutes long, because you will then send the video to me and I will post it, and across the globe, people will hear what you know, and you will get to hear what other people know from other parts of the world, increasing the what you know. So tonight, we have Tiffany, who's willing to share with us some of what she knows to increase what we know. Please put your hands together for Tiffany. The 5 love languages, the way you share love and the way that you receive love is based on 5 preferences. One of the 5 preferences you're going to choose as your love language. The first one is words of affirmation. People will receive love. They will get the feeling of love. They will get the feeling of sharing love by speaking words filled with love, support, reaffirming to the person the quality they are, how hard they might have worked to accomplish the thing. That they're saying that I saw, you're amazing, and I told you with my mouth what I thought about you. Words of affirmation. People out here, there could be a group of us or just a single person, that's the only way that they really feel loved, by words, being told by words what you think of them and the quality they bring to your life. Words of affirmation. The next one is acts of service. Acts of service is a person that goes and they do. That's my love language. My love language is go out and do. I am what's known as the most reliable person in my family. To my daughter, to my mom and dad, to my sisters, to my nieces and my nephews. If I say I'm going to do something, you do not have to check back with me. My family knows. I say I'm going to do something, it's absolutely going to be done, because the way I show love is doing things for you. Seeing a need, meeting a need, helping you accomplish a need. That's the way I share love, and that's the way I receive love. If you're going to love me, my second love language is words of affirmation. You can tell me the things, how you see things, but they can't be general. You can't give me, you did a wonderful job. That's not words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is, oh my God, do you remember when you went through all that stuff? Remember what you had to do to get through that situation? You're still standing. And look what you accomplished. Oh my God, you did it. That's words of affirmation. It's not in general. It has to be detailed. Words that matter, because they have to come away. A person that receives words of affirmation has to believe that you understand or you know who they are. So when you share your words, they matter. You're proving to them that you paid attention. Words of affirmation, acts of service. Acts of service is simple. Vacuuming, cleaning the house. If your wife has a kid, you come home, babe, you chill, you relax, I take the baby from here. That type of thing. Or if you're the stay-at-home dad and your wife works, it's just the opposite, because it happens in all scenarios. The next one is quality time. People want that one-on-one, in your face, paying attention to just me, no phone, no TV, no sports, no decorator shows, because there's people that follow those decorator shows like Die Hard, or what's it, the wives of NBA basketball. I don't watch enough TV, but that's the LA wives of Hollywood, of Atlanta. They could really get into those, what's those shows called? Reality TV. Oh, that could become a passion for them. But quality time, you're shutting all that out, and it's just you and them. And you'll often hear this from a person that loves quality time. We don't even have to say anything. I just want to be in your presence. And it's like, I just want to be with you. I just want to know that there's nothing else going on. And if we talk about stuff, and that's cool. But don't want you on your phone. Don't want you watching TV. You and I kick back. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Let's take a trip. It's a learned behavior to get into a relationship or to go out on an event and just put down your phone and get used to not touching it at all. You know what that does to someone that loves quality time? A person that spends time with you and they never, ever pick up their phone. But if they pick up the phone to take a selfie, oh, that's kind of nice. Come on. If you like pictures and stuff, you say, hey, and then you put that phone back down. Quality time. To them, that's the only way they receive that you have made time to spend one-on-one. Next one is called physical touch. That's self-explanatory. From light taps to sex to that's the way that they receive love. If you're not affectionate in that manner, they don't really feel really loved. And that can be based on whatever they grew up believing that love is. So that physical touch with, because when I first learned about the words of affirmation, I swore to God that I had to be physical touch, because I'm a very hand, that touchy feely. That's the word. I'm very touchy feely. So I love the little passes and the taps. I love the, hey, what's going on? Grab behind the back and a little hugged. That's me all the way. That's all. But I thought that was my love language. No, acts of service and words of affirmation was mine. So physical touch is you physically paying attention, acknowledging them. Where we, out of our habit, we pick up our phone, we look at our phone every 94 seconds. Every 94 seconds, you'll go to your phone. On average, you'll go to your phone, look, flip, turn, flip, scroll, put back down. Like when you look at your phone, they say, hey, what time is it? You got to look at your phone again. Wait, you just looked at your phone. They said the time, but you don't. But anyway, so physical touch is that same, the way you touch your phone is that type of attention you have to pay to a person that's into physical touch. It's acknowledging them with some part of you physically touching them. So we have words of affirmation, we have quality time, we have physical touch, we have acts of service. The last one is what? Gift giving, gifts. Some people it's just no way that you're going to prove to me and show me that you love me without, and I don't want to say give me something. No, it's more like, because give me something means like I'm out for that particular. No, it's paying attention to me to meet a particular want or meeting a particular need. So it's not a give me something, but you're meeting a particular want and a particular need with a physical thing. And for a particular person, that's really the only way to them. Like if you really love me, you have paid attention enough to get something that that would make me feel a particular way. So everyone has different love languages. And the weird thing about love languages is that you typically never tie yourself to a person that shares your love language. You do not. If your habit is acts of service, you're not looking for another act of service. Remember the yin and yang, opposites attract. Like I shared within the room that I'm the crazy person, but my best buddy Eustace is consistent, laid back, mellow. My other best friend Wayne, I'm that crazy nuts crack person. Wayne is the kick back, mellow. Eustace didn't run from this girl to that girl, this girl to that girl, this girl. Wayne didn't run from this girl to that girl, but I did. Hello, woo-hoo-hoo. So much so that I didn't know how to have a relationship. But ask Eustace that, ask Wayne that, married in how long? Because they knew. They didn't run from person to person. They paid attention. They locked into that one individual, and they stayed with them. Even when they broke up with them, they still stayed with them. Come on. I'm not sharing this with you because I'm making it up. I lived this. This stuff that I'm sharing with you didn't come from some book. Now, the love language came from Gary Chapman, because when I sought to find out how to love, you have to go for sources outside of your normal. So when you go through whatever you go through and you're ready for the next level, you cannot turn to the people that you normally go to get you to your next level. You cannot turn to your normal people, because your normal people made you. The normal people you go to has made you the person that you are today. So you have to go to sources outside of your norm to achieve this new level. And that's why this word of God is so amazing, because you can't exhaust it. It's from next level to next level to next level. You just have to read it as if you're searching for treasure. If you just read it for reading and saying, I did my due diligence, I did my 15 minutes, I did my 5 minutes, and you not passionately seeking after it, saying, I got a problem with anger, what does God say about anger? And I'm looking through the Bible to read what they say about anger, because they got to get something in its place. Unless you take something and put it in its place, anger is always going to be available to you. There's nothing that's going to sway you from this anger. You got to find something that says it's more valuable to do it this way. And then you say, I'm going to have to do it that way because it's more valuable. The benefit, that thing that I'm trying to achieve, the goal I'm trying to reach, comes with me doing it that way, not the way I want to. So here we are, once again, a person that's going to share what she knows with the world around us so we may know some of the she knows. Put your hands together once again for Tiffany.
Okay. So what I know is I'm grateful to God for my mother. There was some dark times in my life. And one of the most dark times, she said, you need help. She sent my son away with my dad. She said, you're going to take this time to be okay. And she gave me license to go and get help. I think when we talk about therapy, we think that we're wrong, we're broken, there's something not right, that people will judge us. And had it not been for her saying, no, you're going to do this, I don't know where I would be. That I can speak about that now and say, this is what I need to do. That was 7 years ago. And anybody that I feel comfortable with, and that's why when Kamara asked me would I do this, it's always been who I'm comfortable with, I'll say that I'm in therapy. I won't say it to everyone because I'm afraid of judgment. But here's my church family and some people that I don't even know. And I'm saying I'm in therapy. And it's fine. And I'm better for it. I've made better decisions as a mother, as a daughter, as a teacher, as a friend, as a human, as a child of God, because I'm there. And I don't allow the misconceptions of what therapy means to be strapped on me and not allow myself to get to where I need to be. And it's an everyday struggle. And so when you, Kamara, thank you for asking me would I do this. You know, sometimes you feel like you're hiding something. That people know you so well, but they don't know this thing about you. That's so much of who you are. And tonight was that opportunity. And I was like, okay, God, please don't let it be more than a few people here tonight when I have to stand up and say.
So you did this to myself.
Yes. sorry. But I was like, I wrote down a bunch of things and I kept coming back to the same. I said, no, Tiff, you have to live your truth. And that's my truth. Okay, here we go. We just get hugs.
Whew. I've had conversations with people about that therapy thing. We have not been so designed to go through this life alone. When they talk about the household of God, it's people that's supposed to know your business. People are supposed to know your business. You're good, you're bad, and you're ugly. And you're not supposed to be effing judged for it. And I got to tell you, church people are evil in their ways. Like they forget. Like you forget. Don't forget where you came from, where you are right now. Because anyone that's pointing their fingers got, 4 fingers back at you? And the person that can speak against somebody is going through some crap themselves. But they're trying to present themselves in another light. Yeah, your church family is supposed to know your business. When you venture into the world and you wonder and you don't know what the people around you do for a living, that's a problem. What church family are you dealing with and you don't know that person does this, that person does that for a living? A church is supposed to be self-sufficient in itself. God has set people around you for you to live a life that's more than abundant, not just an average life, a life that excels in every single facet because that's how God set it up. So when you're part of a household and you don't tell people your business that I'm in therapy, you're denying people the truth. How? When I have people come to me and share with me about their life, first thing I tell them, you got to tell me your dirt. Don't tell me you're good and bad. I want to know ugly. What the crap did you do? Because when I speak to you, I have to speak from a position of knowing that these are the crap that you do. So when I share, let's get you out of that completely. And I'm sure Reverend Noble knows a lot about that because as a reverend and first lady, people are coming to them. They're telling them all types of, and to think that all that they know ain't even all the truth from that person. And he's got to figure out a way. But that's where you leave it to God. And that's when God will work within him to say, well, she ain't saying, he ain't saying, but this is what's needed. Boom. And he'd be amazed like every time, like without fail. Even in the places where you might get jumped and you kind of say, well, because of my experience, you should do this. And it wasn't exactly what God says. Guess what? Because you did it with believing, God will cover that too. Woo, he got that covered too. Oh, it's like but then you catch yourself like, oh, no, God got you covered on that too. God will catch you in that. So once again, if you're part of this household, if you're part of a household, tell people your business. You know when people commit suicide that's in church? Because people don't know their business. And don't you understand, you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You got to tell people your business. Not everyone, but the people that you genuinely know care for your life. That you're going through something. So when they reach out, they know that they're reaching out with a purpose in mind to say, that amazing, what that Zulu saying, Sabona, Sabona, I see you. I see you. And because I see you, I exist. Because I see you, I exist. You have to care for people. You are not going to reach another level just shooting for things for yourself. You'll never receive that goal. There is no such thing as a self-made millionaire. Everyone needs someone to achieve greatness. It's 8:40. Those who have to leave, feel free, but I'm going to open to questions and answers. If anyone, anything about relationships, anything about love, anything about God, questions, anyone? Shoo, complete. I'll take that. I will take that victoriously.